This is All India Radio. We now bring you a talk on telecommunications, accelerating evolution into information and knowledge society by Dr. Tripuraneni Hanuman Chaudhary, a telecom and information technology intellectual.
17th of May, all over the world, is observed as World Telecommunication and Information Society Day. Information Society and Telecommunications. Mankind has evolved from an agricultural society into an industrial society and now has been evolving into an information and knowledge society. The one that facilitates this is worldwide communication ability. Any person from anywhere at any time should be able to speak and see any other person. In 1965, the chairman of the world's largest telephone corporation, AT&T, American Telegraph Corporation, in America, while addressing the general body, he said that the day will come when every person in the world that is born will be given a telephone number and not a name. And if that number is called and if that there is no answer, then we can assume he is dead. How is this possible that any person can talk to any person anywhere at any time? If there is a communication system which covers the entire surface of the globe. In 1962, a communication satellite called Telstar was launched into space 36,500 kilometers up above the world, so high in the sky, and that was able to see one third of the globe. 3 such satellites will cover the entire globe. Therefore, it is possible to speak from anywhere at any time to any other person. Now, there was another great prophecy. We should be able to communicate for work and communicate only for pleasure. Communicate for work. You should be able to work from your house or from any place, and you should move, that is travel, only if you want to embrace some person or shake hands with some other person. So in order to facilitate this, mobile telephony and worldwide covering telecommunication networks, these have been coming forth in the last 3 or 4 decades, and India is no exception. Once upon a time, our situation was apply, no reply. But today, through 2 national telecom policies, one in 1994 and the other in 1999, we are able to give a telephone to every person whenever he asks. In 1994, for 100 crore people, we had 1 crore telephones. Today, for 130 crore people in India, we are having 117 crore telephones. And these are all mobile telephones. They are all not normal telephones. They are multi-purpose. They are smart telephones. There is not only voice, there is vision. That means people can see one another. Text can be transmitted. There is a camera in that one. You can access the network, internet. And this internet and the World Wide Web, they are able to store all the information in the world. There are more than 100 crore worldwide webs which are storing the information that is being generated and that was generated for hundreds of years in the past. Anybody can access this network of information, of knowledge, through what are called smart telephones. Today the telephone is smart. What does it mean? It has replaced the computer. From the tabletop to laptop to a palm top to just handheld, you can have in the pocket. Such versatile instruments and the worldwide network, they are enabling people to communicate for work and commute only for pleasure. The theme today is accelerating digitalization, that is communications for work in the challenging times. Every challenge, every calamity produces an accelerated growth of knowledge. That's what is happening. Let us see in India with 117 telephones which are handheld, which are multi-purpose, which are very smart. What is it that is happening? People are working from homes. If you take our information technology, the IT software, our business exports $130 billion worth of exports. People are working, 93% of them are working from home. Now, this is communicating for work and commute only for pleasure is now realized. Every person having a telephone is also realized. And then what? If you take the courts, no liar, no person who is aggrieved need go to the court. Our high courts and the Supreme Court are hearing, the people are hearing the appellants and the lawyers from wherever they are. This is another great revolution. Now take education. People had to go to the classrooms by commuting, people sitting in autos and cars and buses, etc. No such travel. Lessons are being delivered by teachers from their homes, and the students are learning while sitting in the house. Now, electioneering, if electioneering also can be totally digitalized, that means use information technologies. Now, people, the candidates and the parties to talk only from their homes and televise it, and the communication can be two-way. Listeners and viewers can ask questions, debates can be there, then there should be no gatherings at all. How much money would be saved? In this calamitous time of COVID-19, it is these gatherings which have accelerated the spread of this disease. Now, we use only EVMs, electronic voting machines, but why should anybody go to any polling booth? People can also vote from their homes through the smart telephone. Already, the annual general meetings, the voting that is required at the annual general meetings by big companies is being done not by physical presence, but by use of the smartphones from wherever the shareholder is. Similarly, elections to the societies, like institutions of engineers, etc., are also held without any person going anywhere. If every activity of humanity can be in this way changed over from commuting to communicating, there will be great saving of time for the people, money for the people, and the pollution and the transportation costs, etc. Now, how is this facilitated? This is facilitated because the communication costs have come down. It is what is called the postalization, depth of distance. In India, for the last 3 years, you can communicate, you can have the smartphone, cell phone, talk, whether it is for the next door or from Hyderabad to Delhi or Delhi to Guwahati, the charge is the same. Just like a postcard where it is delivered from one house to other house or from one city to another city has got the same price. In the same fashion, communications or telecommunications have spelled the depth of distance and the postalization of communications. Therefore, the competition between the companies is producing new technologies. Just imagine, telegrams have disappeared. The telex has disappeared. Fax has disappeared. And the cell telephones, what is it that we are having? First generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, fifth generation in about 25 years. This accelerated growth of technology and therefore the convenience has been leading to the depth of prices also. It is becoming cheaper and cheaper. In 1994, when we first enunciated the national telecom policy, our per capita income was 10,000 rupees. And the telephones then, whosoever had a telephone, the average spend per year was 10,000. That means the annual per capita income is what we have to spend to have a telephone. Today, our per capita income is 1,35,000 rupees, and the average spend on telephone is 1,800 rupees. It is 1/75th of the per capita income. What a great revolution! Once it was equal to the per capita income, whereas now it is 1/75th. That is why even the beggars are able to have a telephone. That is by purchasing what is called prepaid. Everybody is able to adjust use the communication what he can afford. That is what is called the depth of distance and the ubiquitous ability to communicate from anywhere else. Now, social media like YouTube, WhatsApp, Google, Gmail, electronic mail is replacing the postal mail. Similarly, funds transfer, you did not go to the bank. You can do it from your telephone, order books from your telephone. So every work can be done from home by using the smart telephones. Therefore, the evolution of humanity from agriculture to industry, industry to information, information to knowledge has been taking rapidly because of the telecommunications. It is great that in India, successive prime ministers from P.V. Narasimha Rao Garu and Rajiv Gandhi and Atal Bihari Vajpayee had seen the great potential of ubiquitous communications and therefore evolved such policies that today anyone can have a telephone within his means and communicate with any person at any time. Therefore, the vision of the chairman of the AT&T in 1965 and what had become possible through communications, satellites, is enabling humanity to progress, to evolve very rapidly into an information and knowledge society where commutation, that is travel, is only for pleasure and working is by using the smart telephones. India is now connected with the world. It has its own communication satellites for different purposes. We are in the forefront of the use of information technology, software, and smart telephones. It's a great progress compared to, say, just about 25 to 30 years ago. And all this is becoming possible because of our spreading education and excellence among a certain section of our people. And therefore, the prospect of a knowledge society coming, in fact, it is signaled by this one. The contribution of agriculture to our GDP is now only about 15 to 18%. It used to be 65% in the 1950s, 60s. And industrial production contributes to our GDP only to about 28%. It is about 58% is coming from the tertiary sector, that is from knowledge workers. This is another, we are leapfrogging into the most modern progressive society. Therefore, what we have to see is that this technology is used for the benefit of man, not for committing frauds. Yes, always, man has always been living with virtue as well as vice, living side by side. It should be the wisdom of people that the modern technologies, communication technologies and software, etc., are used for the happiness of humankind, to add to the sum total of happiness in the world and not for destructive purposes.
You were listening to a talk on telecommunications, Accelerating Evolution into Information and Knowledge Society by Dr. Tripuraneni Hanuman Chowdhury, a telecom and information technology intellectual. This broadcast came to you from the studios of All India Radio, Delhi.